Hello everyone, how are you doing? Chances are we've asked an iteration of this question to many people. How are you doing? How's it going? How have you been? These have become almost like stock greetings, something to fill the space between us when we first greet each other. And chances are when you've been asked these things by others, you've fallen back on a stock response. In fact, I'll bet that most of us have really made a bad habit of using four-letter words as our stock response to these questions. There are three of these four-letter words, and I'm almost hesitant to use them in a professional video, but I will because it's Monday Musing, and this is what I've been musing about lately. So with my apologies, those four-letter words are good, okay, and the worst of all, the F-bomb, fine. This isn't to say that sometimes we aren't these things. But I had this conversation with a few people over the last 2 weeks about the tendency to rely on just these few words because they're safe, they're expedient, and they deflect attention away from the question that, if we answered honestly, might take a lot longer and not always be so great. At the same time, I've been noticing in my conversations with people that so many of us are starting to really feel the silliness of the questions themselves. But we ask and answer them out of habit and for lack of something better to say. There have been times when the question is just met with a silent head nod or a shrug, and others when the question has been asked with very little conviction. I don't necessarily have an easy solution for this, but a couple of ideas to consider. One, I don't necessarily recommend at the start of a Zoom meeting when someone asks you how you are doing for you to answer completely and thoroughly. Let's face it, that might not always be appropriate. But perhaps if you find yourself giving one of the stock four-letter answers, use it as a prompt to check in with yourself to see how you are really doing. Two, maybe it's time for us to start thinking about how we can check in with each other in more genuine and authentic ways. Maybe instead of something as amorphous and all-encompassing as how are you doing, we can ask something more specific, like how has your day been so far? Maybe we don't need to ask a question at all, but express gratitude or appreciation. I'm really glad to see you. Or, if the situation and professional relationship allows for it, maybe we do still ask how someone is doing, but ask it and allow time for an answer in a way that invites more of a stock response. That's it for today, folks. Have a great week.